Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your mid-monthly reading for the month of December 2024. You have this never-ending story card and this happy card starting off your reading. Obviously, those are two conflicting energies, and the never-ending story card is kind of like a round-around situation that could be happening in your life, and we'll have to see what comes up in the reading, but I kind of feel, just based off the reading so far, that you could be ending a never-ending story. I don't think it's been easy necessarily. I think it's taken like a long time, and it's definitely been very difficult. The happy card, she is channeling happiness into the top of her head there. And so it's kind of like a card of choosing happiness or, needing to, again, like channel the happiness into the top of your head. And every time I come into my office lately, I can tell that someone's been touching my stuff here, Pisces. But anyway, I will find out who that little gremlin is, and I will take care of them. But anyway, again, I think that you need to work on channeling happiness and doing things that bring more happiness into your life with the happy card. For your current general energies, how you enter into this, I decided to do Celtic crosses for these mid-monthlies because, I don't know, felt like it. And the Ace of Swords is like a victory or, kind of like some sort of big victory coming in for you, which is great. The Ace of Swords is like laser-like focus. And again, something I have noticed at the end of the year here is that a lot of people have been getting this real strong need to like stay focused. I always say the Ace of Swords is laser-like focus. It is like picking one thing and making it happen. So, if you're trying to accomplish anything at the end of the year here, I would really make it your focus. And I think that, we don't have to like go crazy when we make something our focus. I think making something your focus could just say that, maybe you're trying to accomplish something at the end of the year, and to focus on it, you could just be doing like one thing every single day. As long as you do it, every single day, you could pick like one activity or one step that you take each day. And by doing that, consistently, then you are kind of focusing on what's important to you. And you have two aces here, which is great. You also end with this card that says a new start is coming. So two aces is like a new beginning or a fresh start or a new start. You also have the Fool, which can also represent a fresh start. So, the aces could definitely be talking about fresh start. Your crossing energy is the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles to me is very clear as a crossing energy. King of Pentacles is a card of convention. And so convention is not necessarily a bad thing. He can be a card of wealth, but he's been doing the same thing to, kind of create his wealth for a very long period of time. And the problem with that is that there's no evolution with what he does. And so, again, on one hand, of course, it's a good thing to keep doing what works. I say it in all my readings, double down on what works. But I think that like 80% of the time we should do what works, and like 20% of the time we should be experimenting, trying new things, trying different things. Just look at all the experiments I run on my channel. Drives people crazy, but also, I don't know, numbers speak for themselves, right, Pisces? So, I think experimentation is the name of the game for you. And I would say it just has to be 20%, anything, anywhere you're feeling stuck. And especially if you're feeling stuck financially, which based off your astrology, definitely, you could be feeling stuck financially. I would be experimenting, trying new things. That's probably where you're going to, create more money or, improve things. Next, in the area of what's on your mind or the area of your thoughts, you have the Hermit card. So, again, end of the year, I think a lot of people go into this like introspective place at the end of the year, and the Hermit is all about introspection and looking at your inner voice or listening to your inner voice. He's been through a dark night of the soul, and now he's climbed to the top of this mountain, and he has found his inner light. So a lot of you you might be in like an introspective place, or you might be thinking a lot. I kind of feel like Pisces could be thinking a lot about like what they don't have, not in a bad way. I don't think you're looking at this from like a lack perspective. I think you're just looking at things that you don't have, and you're just saying like, I would like those things, whatever it is. And again, like I said, I think there's like a negative here where if you're just only thinking about what you don't have, obviously that would be a bad thing. But I think this is more from the perspective of like, what can I do to get it? And so again, that's a much better perspective. You have the Queen of Swords in the area of your foundation, which is great. This here could be clarity. We have the Eight of Wands to the Two of Cups. And this could be love, but the Two of Cups can be you and your higher self. And, the Eight of Wands is also a card of communication. And so I think that there could be some sort of clarity or, communication coming in from your higher self. I think I said this in your last reading for like the second week of the month, or the third week, I should say, or whatever it was. And I was saying something about how you need to carve out some time to get clear with your higher self. And this could include like meditation time or like whatever it is that brings you clarity. You also have 2 Libra cards here, Queen of Swords and Justice. So there could be some justice coming in, or you could feel like things are balancing out. In the area of your past, this is the energy of what you're moving past. You have this take the lead card and this focus card. So I don't think you're moving past focus or taking the lead necessarily, but I do think you're moving past something. I think maybe you're moving towards a focused idea, because we even have the Chariot here in the past. And the Chariot, he is leaving behind everything he has known. So again, clearly you are leaving behind like a comfort zone, or you are leaving behind something, that has been an establishment in your life for a very long period of time. Again, the King of Pentacles is another card of establishment. And, I've been saying for years that Pluto moving into Aquarius, that cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius is the death of establishment. So, basically everyone is kind of letting something go probably in their life that has been, a source of comfort, or has been, you have that never-ending story card. So you could also just be changing your story, because you could be realizing that if you've been doing the same thing over and over and over again for years, that you need to make a change. And, really, that's what I feel is the Chariot is kind of saying that you realize that something has to change, and I think you're just making the change, which is a good thing. Next, in the area of your very near future, you have this Crescent Moon card. It says, as the moon grows, so can your wealth, health, and happiness. Stay positive. You have this Cosmic Catching card. It says, what you've been waiting for is ready to be. Your patience is about to be rewarded. There you go. I don't know about you, Pisces, but I'm not very patient as a Pisces. So I don't know if Pisces has patience, but, again, I think that something is coming in for you. It kind of makes sense. At the end of the month here, on the 29th, we have Chiron moving forward in Aries, and it's been retrograde basically in Pisces house, second house forever, and it's been our second house for, it feels like forever, right? And so that Chiron and Aries energy for Pisces directly affects our finances. It's not like necessarily bad, but it definitely could be bringing up like old financial wounds, or, financial blocks, or things that have caused problems with your finances. You could be thinking about those things, or you could be, over the last year or a couple of years, you could be triggered by those, kind of blocks or blockages or whatever you want to call it. And again, I kind of feel that Chiron moving direct is going to be good for Pisces at the end of the month. It's going to, just kind of improve your finances. And again, your patience could be paying off. You have the 8 of Wands. Again, another card of focus, because these 8 wands are all pointing in one direction. And again, that should be your middle name now, Pisces, is one direction. Because I think if you just like pick one thing and make it happen, then you will make it happen. I think if you have scattered energy, then that's where the challenges are going to come in. So the 8 of Wands is about getting into alignment. Again, all those wands are pointing in one direction. We can't pull in 2 different directions with the 8 of Wands, or multiple directions. We have to be focused in the right direction. So if there's something you want, focus on the positives, not the negatives. I also, of course, think that spiritual communication going this way is going to be very, very important for you. I would do whatever you can to get those answers, whether it's like I said, whether it's going for walks, I get answers in the shower. It might be the shower for you, whatever it is. I would make some extra time to wherever you get those spiritual signs, or, symbols or answers, I would make extra time to do that. In your outcome row, you have this card that says your dreams need a practical plan. Definitely. 8 of Wands, 8 of Wands is like steps. There are 8 wands. There are like 8 things that you have to do to get to your dream. And so I would come up with like a practical plan. Remember what I said at the beginning, like one step every single day. And it can be a tiny little step. Again, you can make these changes very, very small and still get to where you're going. You have this new moon. It says a new start is coming. Again, with 2 aces so far. We're going to clarify the reading, but so far you have 2 aces, which is definitely a new beginning and a fresh start. Over the next few months, you have the Justice card. I really like this. This could say that like things are balancing out, or you feel like things are balancing out for you. Maybe you feel like things are more fair, which I think we've talked about this in the past, how, it almost seems like things have not been exactly fair for Pisces. Like, you put the work in to make something work and it just kind of doesn't, or, I think that, part of me believes that the challenge was Uranus in Aries, since like, now I'm choking. since like 2008 or whatever, whatever it was, you had Uranus in Aries for a very long time. And having it in your second house, it's almost like unpredictable finances, and it was probably very hard for you, to predict your finances or to have financial fairness. And again, then we had Chiron go into Aries, and it's like, Chiron is a wounded healer, so Chiron isn't necessarily bad, and it doesn't really cause problems per se, but it can definitely bring up those old wounds, or it can remind you of those old wounds. And I think that's like part of the secret, is realizing that it's just a reminder. It's not an actual punishment or something like that. But again, I think things are balancing out for you. In the area of your closest relationships, you have the Fool. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith. There could be love coming in for you. And again, it could be like love communication with the Eight of Wands and the Two of Cups here. Again, we'll clarify, we'll see. The Fool could also just be you going on this new journey of like friendship or communication with people. Because again, this part of the reading represents all relationships, not just love connections. So again, a lot of you could be kind of like healing or, learning about new people, or going on this new journey of meeting like the right people as well. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Two of Cups, which is great because, again, just on a personal level, this would say that you are feeling connected. And again, I think you're feeling connected to your higher self. It's almost like you feel more guided to me in the future as we move forward into the future. And maybe you feel like you're getting the answers you need to be able to make progress. So that's great. Again, but like I said, tarot doesn't just happen. So we have to make sure to carve out the time to listen, whatever that is for you. Like I said, meditation, walking, could be anything. And so I would make sure you're doing that. I think hobbies are another great way to tap in as well, because when we're, if you think about it, when you're doing something you enjoy, you just don't really think, right? And I think not thinking is going to be very helpful for you. And so doing those things to get you out of your head. Two of Cups definitely could be love communication. Again, Two of Cups is like someone different than your usual type. I would say since 2020, 2021, all my readings, people have been, where love shows up, pretty much people have been getting the Two of Cups. So it seems to me like love is changing, and like people could be attracting like a different type of person. You have the Ace of Pentacles as your outcome, which is amazing. Definitely could be a big opportunity coming in for you. And again, it's one thing. So I think the secret sauce for you the rest of the month, and probably the first few months of the year, is to maintain your focus and like work on one thing at a time. I think it'll just be like super helpful for you, and you'll probably get a lot more accomplished than you realize. And obviously that would be a good thing. And again, not only that, this Cosmic Egg card says your patience is about to be rewarded. So if you have been working on something for a long time, I think it's going to be rewarded. With the Ace of Swords and the King of Pentacles, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is about turning one thing into another. Again, if you have been working on something for a long time, it's like, how can you upgrade it, update it? How can you make it unique? Those are the questions I would be asking with that King of Pentacles. Again, we don't have to make a total change with the King of Pentacles. We just have to add a little bit of something extra, or we just have to add a little bit of, innovation into what we're doing. And again, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be a tiny little step. So, I think this is saying, turn things into, the Temperance card is a transformation card. So it says transform what you're doing. Yeah, with the Hermit, you have the Four of Pentacles. I think I've said to you recently that, you need to come down from the mountain. I think it's very easy for Pisces to isolate themselves, and the Hermit is all about isolation. I believe that the Hermit needs to come out of isolation, so I believe that he needs to come down from the mountain, and he needs to shine his inner light to the world. I mean, I've been saying to you for years that this Pluto and Aquarius energy, it's coming up in your 12th house, Pisces, which is very spiritual, but the most spiritual thing you can do with Pluto and Aquarius is be an inspiration to other people. So you have to shine your star. The Hermit has the star and his lantern, and you have to shine what makes you special out into the world. Maybe you need to communicate it to the world as well. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Really good card. Ten of Pentacles is one of my foundational cards, and this part of the reading is the area of your foundation. So I think a lot of you could be working on your financial foundation, like we already said. I'm kind of cheating a little bit. Before I started this reading, I kind of had a feeling that it would be financial in nature because Chiron is finally moving forward on the 29th, right? And so I think for a lot of you, you could really be really extra focused, even now. Even though it's not until the 29th, again, like I said, you can feel energy before before it happens. So you could be feeling this change now, even if it isn't here now, and you could really be focusing on, your financial foundation. With the Chariot, you have the World. Some of you could be moving if you haven't already. Jupiter in your 4th house. So Jupiter and Gemini definitely could be causing some of you to think about moving, traveling, doing all those things. You could, if you don't have to move with Jupiter in your 4th house, of course, it could just be upgrades to your home or you making changes to your home, but it makes sense to me. And you do have the Chariot, so you could be moving. I moved right at the beginning of Jupiter and Gemini, right? With the 8 of Wands, you have the Moon. Yes, you showing up here in a strong position. I think the Moon is saying, the moon can be somewhat spiritual and in some ways. And so the moon can represent your intuition or using your intuition. And again, the 8 of Wands is communication. So I think you need to kind of like trust your intuition, or you need to communicate more with your higher self. The moon is about stepping into the unknown. And, I think the biggest lesson for Pisces with Neptune and Pisces as well is that, normally if we don't have Neptune and Pisces, I believe, and again, this is Chris's crappy astrology, not accurate astrology, that we set out to do something and we have these little like milestones that show up that tell us like, hey, you're getting closer to your goal. So it's like normally they're like this. With Neptune and Pisces, I think those milestones are like this, like way far apart. You can't even see if you're going in the right direction or not. Neptune and Pisces, I believe, is trying to get Pisces to trust themselves, like meaning you come up with an idea for anything in your life and you set out on the journey and you complete it, no matter how it looks, right? And I think that's what Neptune and Pisces has been trying to get Pisces to do. So I would just keep going. With the Justice card, you have the 10 of Cups. Really good reading. Damn, really good. 10 of Cups is fortune after difficulty. It's a card of happy home, happy family as well. So if you're looking for love, that looks really good. But I think that you're going to feel much happier this year, especially, as we move into 2025. I think that especially if 2024 wasn't exactly easy for you, Pisces, I think a lot of you could be feeling a lot better with that energy, which of course is a good thing. But hold on one second. Let me shuffle this. With the Fool card, you have the Devil. Again, this is coming up in the area of your closest relationships. So I think you've learned like what toxic is and what's not toxic. So I would again pay attention to that. I do feel like I kind of feel good about this. So you could be attracting like a Capricorn or someone with Capricorn in their chart. We have Capricorn twice here. It could be a Cancer as well because of the Chariot. And again, if you're attracting a Cancer, they could be like a Capricorn, they could have, Capricorn rising, or they could have something in Capricorn. So that makes sense, but I don't feel too bad about it. But what I would say is, again, don't get swept up in something that is toxic with that energy there. And, stay focused and, make sure that you're not being tempted. The moon can be an illusion. I think maybe a better way to put this is like energetically what I feel is that this is saying walk through open doors. It's like I think Pisces, as far as relationships are concerned, have dealt with like a lot of closed doors, meaning it's like, getting into connections where it's like hard to get the person to let you in, and just astrologically it makes a lot of sense over the past few years. So again, I think the Devil is saying like make sure to walk through those open doors. Yes, with the 2 of Cups, you have the Chariot. I'm telling you right now, it would not surprise me if this person was like Capricorn, Cancer with Capricorn, something like that, showing up in their chart. So, it could be that type of person. But coming up in the area of your future feelings, the Chariot can also say that you are feeling victorious, or you're feeling like you're going to have a victory, or you are feeling more in control. So, this is another really good energy for you here, Pisces, and also could be moving. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Judgment card, waking up to your true purpose. I kind of get the feeling that some of you could be making a very rapid change all of a sudden. And I'm not trying to be clickbaity here, but, again, what I mean by rapid change is like, if you have a job, you could one day, like literally one day, just all of a sudden have a realization that you need to be doing something else, and you could go and do something else. Now, of course, like I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but apparently I have to spell everything out. So, of course, don't just quit your job. Go get something else first and then quit your job. I feel like I shouldn't have to spell this stuff out, but for some of you I do. So there you go. But but like I said, I kind of feel that rapid change energy on the Judgment card, where it's saying you could all of a sudden, like one day, realize what your purpose is, and you're making the change. you have the order card. Yeah, like Eight of Wands is very much a coming up with a plan. And again, you have this card here that says your dreams need a practical plan. So I think it doesn't have to be a perfect order, but I think you need to say to yourself, like, to get this goal, I'm going to do this, this, and this. There's a great book, The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And in that book, he says that, like, one of the things he does is he has an affirmation where he like tells he says the affirmation, whatever it is, right? And, but his affirmation is like, I make $1,000 a day, and for that, I do XYZ. So it's like he says what he wants, right? And then after it, he says what he's going to do to get it. And, that's kind of what's popping into my head here. And I'm not saying it has to be money. I'm just using that as an example. You have this patience card. Yes, I think your patience could be being rewarded in connections. So if you want love, and maybe you've been patient, maybe you've been single, I think you could be attracting something very good. I kind of feel like you're attracting a slow person. So again, maybe some of you have been interested in a person, or a person's been interested in you, but it's kind of been slow. You have this fortune card. Yes, money's changing for you, Pisces. Of course, you're going to have to work for it, and you're going to have to do something different with the King of Pentacles. It's not going to just magically appear in your life. Again, I feel like I shouldn't have to spell this out, but I do. So King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. It's like, yes, very good money cards, but nothing just magically happens. And I provided very straightforward advice on what to do for the people in the back. Again, King of Pentacles says you have to do something different. So you can't keep doing what you're doing. You have to upgrade it, update it, transform it, transmute it, turn it into something else, do something different. And if you do that, then yes, you will have these fortunes. Next, you have this discrimination card. Again, Devil. This card says you have learned how to tell the difference between what's right and wrong for you, or you have learned how to tell the difference between something that's good for you and something that's bad for you. So I think you need to trust your gut here on like everything. And finally, you have this companionship card. Yes, I feel you could be attracting a true companion into your life. Definitely shows up here. So if you're looking for love, then, again, I think, and here's the other thing, is that I think that if you're attracting love, it's going to be very clearly like an open door, as in the person is going to do things to let you into their life. It's not like they're going to be throwing up all these roadblocks and things like that. So this looks really good, Pisces. I love this for you. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.